Hello everyone, Venris here, and today we will be talking about Shadows of Change. My impressions after playing for a few days, and yeah, you can consider it as a DLC review. So yeah, let's hop in ASAP to the topic. First of all, I don't want to talk about, let's call it the 4.0 update that I'm going to call 1.4 because it's not worth a big number in at the beginning, in my opinion at least. So the big topic of a DLC is its price. Yeah, DLC is $25, quite a lot. The most expensive DLC in terms if you compare it to the value of things that you are getting really with Total War Warhammer 3. But how is this DLC? Yeah, it's giving 3 new lords, it's giving you a changeling for Zinch, Mother Ostanka for Kislev, and Yuan Bow for Cafe. And there are some good things in the DLC that I just want to talk about, yeah, like straight up, because it's not totally the worst DLC ever that was created, but I will get to it comparing it to the other DLCs that were released with Warhammer 3 and Warhammer 2. So let's go with the good things first. Some models are good, yeah. I really like some models. Yuan Bow has very nice models. The Jade Lions have very nice models for the units, at least. I like the Vortex Beast, is looking quite amazing. And things in the woods are okay, let's say. But yeah, that's it. I think rest of the units are have the place in the bad section. So about the good things, there are some new modding effects that we can use, like negative movement rate for the enemy on your territory, or you have the spell intensify as an effect that doesn't need to be ability only. Besides that, in terms of modding, there are not really that much new options. I would say most of the things that were added with the DLC are coded or very scripted, so nothing that we can do in tables. Yeah, good example of that was when the Tomb Kings were released. So forging of items with the Tomb Kings was very moddable. Yeah, it's making your own forge of making items or rituals, things like that, is like several tables and it's done. Yeah, none of those mechanics are easy to implement to modding or your content that you want to. What else do we have from good stuff? I don't think we have anything good, really. I played the DLC, all 3 Legendary Lords. I didn't finish any of their campaign. I will tell you why in the bad section, but yeah, in terms of the good stuff, I think this is all. There's nothing really about this DLC that when you look on it, yeah, I need to take it. It's a good DLC because it's a lot of good content, or something that will grip you, especially that we have tons of good games right now being released for much better prices. Okay, that's all in terms of good stuff. We finished in 3 minutes. Let's go with the bad stuff. Yeah. Okay, the first bad stuff is the price. The price is way too high for what we are getting, and let's like chop this topic into several sections, because first thing first is the units. The units that we are getting are uninteresting, like very uninteresting, in my opinion. Going with Kislev, the Incarnate and the things in the woods are really not fitting the Kislev. I think that they don't fit really even Mother Ostankia. I get what they wanted to do. They wanted to make that this woods lore, hug parts of Kislev is more into the way of chaos, but I think it's very boring because in lore it's not how it was. It was very original. It's more about actual curses, like the Slavic lore, things like that, and it's not really working here, especially that they added Incarnate to the Beastmen. So this is a great addition for the Beastmen and not the Kislev. It's really not fitting here in terms of the units, at least. Ashkena ambushers, very very strong unit in vanilla. I don't think it's a good unit because it's another another hybrid unit. Like whole faction is all about hybrids, yeah. And the good thing with DLCs for the hybrid factions like High Elves in the past were that we're adding non-hybrid units, yeah, something that can fill the roster, give you a different role. And I think they are again another hybrid unit that doesn't have any bigger role besides that the fact that they are very overpowered and they just make the RS-12C units totally redundant. I would like to see something more like a unit that is purely melee and can change into bears, something like that. I know bears again, but it would be way more interesting because KSF is lacking like early game melee units only or very high end game runners. So I'm not talking about the monsters. So that would be it. In terms of cafe, again, we have the crowmen. They are just harpies. They don't fill any role. The ROR unit is quite interesting because of bombardment, but besides that, it's nothing. The Jade Lions are cool, but the problem is that you have Terracotta Sentinels that just fill the better role of that unit. So and they are doing exactly the same. Maybe they would be better with more entities, but it's hard to tell really. What else do we have for the cafe? We have the War Drum. I think it's okay unit. It's nothing really special. It's neutral for me. It's not good, not bad. It's nothing that will change my gameplay as I play cafe. Yeah? About the Zinch, so we have Xanagors. A very strange unit because it's 1 foot on the territory of Chaos Warriors and 1 foot on Marauders, so it's an okay unit, but it's like a copy, so it's not filling any role in the roster. It's filling more roster role for Beastman than the Zinch really. Vortex Beast, very good unit, strong, interesting. Again, a bit too strong because making redundant of Lords of Change, in my opinion. Yeah. They're such a good unit, and Cockatrice is just a big Manticore, so okay, it's an okay unit. Again, none of those units were like very groundbreaking for the factions and making them more interesting, more options. Yeah, so it's I'd say I consider this bad, yeah, because previous DLCs in the past were really giving something strong. Even going to the Queen and the Crow. We were getting very cool units like the Medusas and the Sisters of Valor, so they were really groundbreaking for their rosters at least. What else do we have? In terms of the campaign mechanics, maybe let's go with that. Let's start from the best. I think the Yuan Bow is the best. Yes, this is just changed of the Shadow Dealings from Snitch, but I think it's more interesting. I played him the most, and yeah, it's just better Shadowy Dealings. Overall, he's playing like the best campaign of Cathay. His Compass thing, I think it should be based for all of the Legendary Lords and not only him, because right now he's just so superior to the rest that's crazy. In that regard. Also, his Celestial General Lord, I quite like it. I like Foot Lords, so it's good to have a good vanilla Foot Lord. But again, in terms of his campaign, he's the best, and he's so good that he's making all of the rest so very, very redundant. The next one would be Changeling. The Changeling is sadly the thing that I was saying. He is a gimmicky faction. What I consider a gimmicky faction. In vanilla, the gimmicky faction for me is Nakai, the Wanderer. I know the topic of Croxigars quite often recently, but the thing is with Nakai was that he was a gimmicky faction that really didn't work, yeah. To this day, I think Nakai is one of the worst campaigns made by Creative Assembly, and Changeling is very cool. He's extremely overpowered, yeah. He's a power creep. Some people will be saying right now that, but when this is a single player game, what do you care about the power creep, things like that? I care. Why? Because if you're playing a faction, and let's say you have one Legendary Lord of the faction, then why should you ever play a different Legendary Lord when this one is so powerful? Like in vanilla, why do you play any other greenskin besides the fact that you like Legendary Lord? you should play Grom, because Grom is the best. Yeah, if you want to play Kefir right now, just play Yuan Bo. He's so strong, so superior to the rest. And right now it's the same thing with the Changeling. He's entirely different. Of course, experienced than Kairos, but Kairos is so weak as a faction that yeah, it's just no brainer for me. Problem is also with him is that all cards of his gameplay are unfold in like 10 turns. So I played 20 turns with him, and I was already extremely bored. I felt that I cannot lose, because from what I know, you cannot lose at him. You need to really try to lose his campaign. And yeah, he's a good concept, good idea, but I think that more work would need to be put in his campaign, yeah, especially those missions about elector lords, things like that, like this schemes. You can get a civil war with Empire, and what does it change for you? This changes extremely nothing. So yeah, let's call that. Okay, and the worst campaign, I think, the DLC would be Mother Ostanka. Mother Ostanka is just bad. Yeah, let's call it. She felt like a Frankenstein monster. She has boyars, but cannot get the basic Kislev unit. She has those courses that are extremely strong, but are annoying as fuck to use. She has those Chaos units, but she's against Chaos. She's starting with Nagarod, but should defend Kislev, and more stuff like that. If you played Mother Ostanka and saw any gameplay, she's total patchwork. She's terrible. And again, in compared to the rest of the Kislev factions, she's extremely overpowered. Yes, she has way stronger technology. She has more technology than the rest. She has everything, just more than other Kislevites. So yeah, I would say it's bad. It's just bad. Other thing that really was surprising for me, how much story and lore was with the Chaos Dwarfs DLC. I don't think it was any groundbreaking in terms of story, but the cinematics were very good. I said it in my review that the cinematics for Chaos Dwarfs DLC was the best. It was this combination of 2D with 3D and endgame models, and it was really fantastic. The story, as I said, was not groundbreaking, but was good. Here it is totally forgettable. It's very bad. The cinematics are very bad. They are just like one image that moves a bit, and that's all. The final battle, the thing that I always liked in the DLCs, is total lackluster. It's really terrible. So yeah, even if we, being fully honest, even if we would change the price of this DLC to this, maybe not $10, but like $15 or 20, something like Champions of Chaos, I think this DLC is not worth it. Like I'm making objectively, yeah, not even about not looking only at the price, yeah, only as the quality and content that you are getting. I think this DLC is not worth it, really. I don't consider it as bad as, for example, the Hunter and the Beast, so the DLC that I think like the least in Warhammer 2. I even like the Queen and the Crow more than the Hunter and the Beast, because how broken and this DLC and boring was always for me. But this is the worst DLC for Warhammer 3 for sure. It is the most boring, uninspiring, patchworked, and just straight up not worth it. This is the first DLC that I dropped after 2 days. I played only 2 days on the release and the day after, and I said I don't want to play it anymore. I'm getting back to modding, but when usually I played for several days and I always finish the campaign, and I didn't. I watched the final battle on YouTube. I really didn't care about it. What is happening there is just bad. So, being fully honest, we are people that are playing Warhammer 3, in most cases at least. I think we are the people that invested tons of money in this game, time and so on. And right now we need to answer one question: do we want to invest more? Especially that the quality is going down. Yeah. So, I think if we want to really go to the future right now with the DLC, the Thrones of Decay, and I think adding the 3 legendary lords to the hero lord pack is a mistake, because it really didn't feels like focused streamlined on one thing. Yeah, as I said, this is a DLC about everything and nothing. So yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't touch in this video the fact about patch 1.4, and I will have a separate video about it because it really deserves it. So my opinion is right now is that this DLC is really not as terrible as people may think about it. The problem of it is the price, and also it's very patchworked right now. This is mostly feeling like a combination of few mods, I would say, yeah, with some things that are like quality of bad mods or models made by me. So yeah, I would say that maybe the best price point of this one would be 10 bucks. Yeah, 10 bucks and 15, something like that. I'm not even talking about the legendary lords and the free one legendary heroes, because this is the thing that I really don't care. I said about this millions of times. I don't care about legendary heroes. Those are not the things that will want me to get back to the game and play it again. Yeah? So those should be free additions, yes, sure, but not replace legendary lords as we had in the past, like Tic-Tac-Toe, Imrek, or Drycha. So yeah, it's a bit sad for me, because as I said, I was bored playing this DLC and I wanted to get back to modding as fast as possible. So I did. Yeah, so that was my opinion about it. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember that you can always support SFO by Patreon. You can always like this video, comment it, and hit that notification bell. Yeah. In coming times, I will be talking about 1.4 update and giving some glimpse about SFO stuff. Yeah, because the mod is being worked on to work again with the DLC. So yeah, a bit sad video, really, for me. Yeah, again, that was Vanris, and I'm out.